Hey everyone, welcome to today's hilarious pet party with Pirate Daddy and his water pet. Who knew Pirate Daddy had a brilliant idea pop into his head of getting a pet, and a little sponge was all in to support him. However, Pirate Daddy wasn't satisfied with any pets and suddenly had an aha moment, like discovering a new continent. He leaned in for a romantic moment with the fishbowl and thought to himself, these adorable little creatures are my destiny. But Pirate Daddy hit a snag at the door as the security guard raised an eyebrow at his pet. He panicked and said, "You can insult me, but my pet is innocent." The guard looked at his pet, immediately opened the gates, and even sweet-talked about its cuteness. He started playing with rocks, pretending he was a big kid, and had the time of his life. Meanwhile, a nearby scientist was on a quest for mystical stones and did a double-take at Pirate Daddy's antics. He thought this rock looked special and tried to borrow it for research, but Pirate Daddy thought, "Oh no, you can't have it for free." He flung the rock away with style. The crowd stared in astonishment like they saw a UFO, and Pirate Daddy struck a pose. The scientist wasn't about to give up. He vowed to claim the stone. Back home, that rock became Pirate Daddy's trusty. The rock made some scrunchy sounds as Pirate Daddy munched happily. But when he got too excited and kicked it, the rock unleashed a surprise attack, turning the house into a battlefield with chaos reigning. Once done, Pirate Daddy was in a pickle and called Little Sponge. Little Sponge said, "Your pet must be starving. Time for a special water grain snack." After a lavish feast, Pirate Daddy felt a bit hungry himself, so he decided to treat himself. After his meal, he noticed the rock had grown and excitedly shared the news with Little Sponge. Little Sponge reminded him to be careful. After all, a well-fed pet has to make room. Pirate Daddy paraded with pride, carrying his precious rock, proclaiming loudly, "The whole world is my playground, where I roam freely." Little did he know, the scientist was watching his every move like a hawk, craftily. As he ambled down the street, every creature was on guard, especially the scientist hiding in the garbage can. Once again, he was totally terrified by Pirate Daddy, the scientist. Just then, Pirate Daddy caught a whiff of something weird, staring blankly at his rock. Little Sponge suggested finding a bath for it. Conveniently right next door was a rock spot. After much struggle, Pirate Daddy finally got inside, only to bump into the scientist in disguise. The scientist couldn't resist getting his hands on the rock. Pirate Daddy sensed trouble immediately. He shouted, "You want to take my rock for a wash? Not on my watch." Using all his might, Pirate Daddy pushed the rock out, and oh boy, here comes a comical spectacle. After a flurry of commotion, the rock sparkled before Pirate Daddy's eyes, ready for a fabulous transformation. Meanwhile, Little Sponge was on stage for a pet contest, and Pirate Daddy couldn't wait to join in. He strutted on stage to show off. The judges laughed. "Nope, it's your pet's turn to shine." The rock went wild again, leaving the audience in a state of comedy-induced panic. As the sole survivor, Pirate Daddy unexpectedly won, questioning his life. Subscribe.